Hi, my name is Alexis. My job is to help you get back with your ex, and in today's video, I'm gonna answer the question how to get your ex back when they moved on. And it's probably the most stressful question or the most pressing question that I get from my clients almost on a daily basis. We're gonna look today, because it's very relevant for you if you're trying to get back with your ex, what you should be doing if you feel they've moved on, because actually is sort of a good news for you if they are about to move on. I'll explain you in details the psychology of your ex, the action you should take, and what you should be thinking and doing just after the jingle.
IGetMyExBack.com. Everyone deserves a second chance.
Before I start explaining exactly what you should be doing, let's start with defining what it means moving on. And I think we put a lot of emphasis, a lot of importance about this word of moving on. And it's really much a feeling. It's very much an idea in your head. You have to forget that it means it's the end. A lot of people, when they talk to me in my sessions and they tell me, I think my ex moved on, I think I have to move on as well and forget them. Actually, it's way different. Moving on is actually meaning that it's opening a new opportunity. If you're watching my videos, you know that the whole idea of getting back with an ex, with your ex, is not to start from where you left, but start a new relationship. And moving on is actually a starting point to create something new, to create that opportunity. It's also a way for you to transform yourself, to become sort of the best version of yourself, evolve and enhance, all the positive characteristics. That's the idea. Moving on is creating space. The radio silence, the no contact, this is when you can develop yourself and work on yourself. Of course, there are situations where there's actually no way for you to get, I shouldn't laugh, there's actually no way for you to get back with your ex. It's sometimes statistically, I've done the stats and I'm introducing the quiz. I put together a quiz for you to know if you have any chance to get back with your ex, because you're watching the video, you're trying to learn, you're trying to rebuild that relationship with your ex, but you might be amongst some of the people who, for them, it's nearly impossible to get back with the ex. So take the quiz and you'll see, it's very detailed, and you'll see whether you have any chance and whether, depending on your score, whether you have a high chance, a moderate chance, or no chance at all to get back with the ex. I prefer to be the bearer of bad news and avoid you wasting your time. And therefore, because life is short. So take the quiz. You'll see in less than 2 minutes. It's totally free. The link is in the first comment of the video. And then what it means, the balance of power. After a breakup or during a breakup, there's sort of a balance of power, because your ex, usually, I do videos for people who are dumpies, but if you're dumper, it's the same. There's a balance of power. You suffer the decision. You are very much scared. You are anxious. And therefore, your ex is sort of deciding he's moving on, living his or her best life. That's what people think. And you feel, when he's ready, I'm ready. And if he's not ready, it's never gonna work. You have to forget this type of thinking. Because if you wait for the other to be ready, you can wait for a long time. The idea is they moved on. It's creating a clean slate. As we discussed, when you broke up with your ex, the idea is not to recreate a relationship from where you left it, but to create a new one. So you can approach them, because the thing is, if you contact them right away, and that's why radio silence and no contact is really important. You need to wait for your ex to heal from that breakup. Of course, you're suffering from that breakup, but they're also suffering from that breakup. And so if you don't let them moving on and you go and speak with them, they'll be annoyed. They'll be like, no, it still hurts. I don't want to see you. I don't want to speak with you because it reminds me of bad memories. It reminds me of the things that I expected from you and that you didn't deliver. So it's very important for you, X, to move on if you want to restart from scratch, because that's the whole point, and it's a bit scary, but that's how it works. That's what works if you want to build something sustainable, long-term relationship. Because if you watch my video and you know that I don't make people to get back together using magic or sort of this kind of stuff. Sometimes people have like guru commenting on my videos. And it's like, okay, it's like either magic or quick fix, like manipulating your ex, sending X, Y, and Z SMSs or stuff like that. It doesn't work like this. It's at the same time very simple, but also it requires hard work. You have to let your ex move on, get their emotional state to reduce, to be more stable. And this is when you will be able to approach them. But the thing is, of course, you're scared to move on. You're scared for them to move on. It is really scary, and I understand it's super, super scary. So in order for you to achieve the results you want, you need your ex to heal, and you need to use that time to work on yourself. And so my point, and it is probably the most important takeaway from this video, this fear shouldn't prevent you from growth, from introspection, from evolution, from working on yourself, from becoming the best version of yourself. If you do these two things, you let your ex enjoy that space for a few weeks, while you are working on yourself hard, understanding your shortcomings, and we'll look at that in the next section, you'll come stronger. For them, when they'll see you, if she or he sees you, it's gonna be just a no-brainer that they have to get back with you. They'll be remembering the good and happy times, forgetting the bad things because you've worked on yourself, and therefore it's a no-brainer. You are their only option if they want to be happy with someone. So the third thing is really assess the role in your breakup. Some people it's very easy for them to know what they did wrong. For some people it's a bit difficult. Really take that time to evaluate what happened. Try to understand what you did to get to this outcome. And be honest with yourself. Sometimes it's very difficult to be objective with ourselves. Again, don't let the fear of moving on prevent you from assessing the role. You know, fear, it's just an emotion. It's how you make the reality of the world, of course, and just for you to feel a bit less scared, your ex is scared. Fear is everywhere, but it's just about understanding that there is a process, that there's a way to get back with your ex. If you're not sure about your responsibility, your shortcomings, you don't know exactly what you want to, what you need to do, what you need to work on, let's have a chat. I have free consultation sessions in my diary, about 10 per week. Just have a look on the description. There's a link for you to have a chat with me. It's totally free. It's a discovery call. I'll answer any of the questions you have, the pressing questions you have, and we can work out together. It's probably an action plan, things you can work on during this radio silence or no contact phase. Or if you are at the end of radio silence or no contact, you want to reach out to your ex, you don't know exactly what to do, what to say, just reach out and I'll be more than happy to help. And I love to have a chat with you because what I'm doing right now is just a one-way sort of thing. I just talk to my camera in my kitchen, and I love to speak with real people sometime. For their moving on is essential. It is actually very important to remember this because, again, there's a lot of fear. We're always scared after a breakup. We think we'll never be able to see and be with that person anymore. And I know if you're watching my video, you have this fear. I mentioned that fear is just an emotion, it's just how you perceive the reality. Don't let the fear drive your emotion. Don't let emotion take action on your behalf. But also, one way to address fear is to learn, is to grow as a person. And you have to remember that moving on is actually essential. Reverse this thinking in your brain. Moving on is, as I said, just an assumption in your head. It doesn't mean moving on, it's the end of the story. It's just that they want to heal from that relationship. And moving on is just their way to heal. Simply as that. So don't think that moving on thing means for them, I don't want to see that person ever. It's just that they don't want to see you right now. It's very different. And in most cases, this is what happens. In most cases, the ex, especially if you don't respect the contact, you'll see that they're really distant, they're really reactive, they're a bit nasty sometimes. And you feel like, okay, now they've moved on, they're really pissed at me. They don't want to see me ever. No. They don't want to see you now. It's not about ever, it's temporary. If you do the right things, if you work on yourself, and if you show that you're an improved version of yourself, a worthy person, again, it's a no-brainer. So trust the process. It is about the process. It is about how you can do the right things. As I mentioned, you let your ex moving on, you do the radio silence, no contact, you work on yourself. It is really essential that you work on yourself, because some people, they do no contact and then they contact the ex and they're the same, they have the same job, they're the same situation. The ex feels that they didn't fix their personal lives, and therefore how would they give them a second chance? Because my job is to help you get a second chance. Don't let your partner have control. That would be the last sentence. Overeating and process. If you have any other questions, don't hesitate to comment. If you like the video and want to promote the channel, don't forget to like and subscribe the channel, and you may have other links and videos related to that topic. Take care of yourself. Bye bye.